You, who are you? I am Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. What? Are you saying that my father asked you to come here and save me? I'd never ask anyone to do such a thing. Letter in a bottle? I have no idea what you're talking about. My father is worried about me? I don't care. Anyway, I can't go home right now. And you, get out of here, understand? Oh no! Anyway, this is when you're supposed to go. See, this is when you're supposed to be in that room, not when I came. Yeah, so we're right here, and, yeah, now we gotta talk to her. Are you still hanging around over here? I told you to go away. I'm okay. I've been going inside Lord Jabu-Jabu's belly since I was little, but Lord Jabu-Jabu is very strange today. There are electrified jellyfish in strange holes around. On top of that, my precious stone was... but that's none of your business. Anyway, you, go home now, understand? You're that worried about me? Then I will give you the honor of carrying me. However, I won't leave until I find the thing I'm looking for. You better believe me. Alright, so yeah, I basically went backwards for a short second. That's like the only way that I get confused in this dungeon is just the first room. Alright, so these bubbles can be destroyed with your slingshot, but you can also throw a Ruto at them to get rid of them. So don't waste your bullets if you don't need to. Anyway, what you want to do is throw her up here on this ledge. And then hit the switch and raise the water like I did earlier. But yeah, I kind of... I've said this like 5 times already, but I really do reverse the first and second room of this dungeon so badly. It's like I've never played this game before, but I've played it like a good... played it through a good 2 or 3 times. I haven't played this game as much as Wind Waker, unfortunately. I just prefer Wind Waker a lot more. I mean, the story in this game is definitely better, but the gameplay, to me, is so out of date compared to the newer Zelda games that it can kind of take away from the experience. That was until they released the 3DS version of the game, which basically renewed the experience to where it felt brand new rather than kind of outdated. I'm going to avoid this Octorok until the spiked platform comes down. You want to jump on the platform. Okay, what was that, Ruto? I've never seen her do that before. Anyway, we're right here again. You want to avoid these holes, of course. But that green, the one with the green ligament type thing, that's where our goal is to end up, I should say. Alright, so what we want to do is avoid these electric eel type things and step on this switch. This switch, it doesn't look like you can press it down with your weight alone, Link. Alright, so that's basically saying that for those who didn't go back and get Ruto, that you're going to have to go back and get Ruto. That's basically what it says. So at that point, you're required to go get Ruto. Anyway, so these little stingray things pop out of the ground, and you need to defeat all of them. Their weak side is their underside. The top of them, they will not receive damage if you only hit the top of them. So you're going to want to take out your slingshot and throw it at their shoot at their underbelly. And I have been recording for way too long. I forgot to check the time that I started recording. I think I've been recording for about 20 minutes now. Alright, so we got rid of all of those, and now boomerang. On the select item subscreen, set it to the C buttons. Then you can attack at distant enemies by using the C buttons. This is one of the more, well, I don't know. In Wind Waker, this item was simply amazing. You know, you couldn't go into combat without it. But in this game, it's slow and it doesn't have good range, and it's got a weird lock-on system, and it's just not useful in combat like it was in Wind Waker, with the exception of this dungeon, that is. It is very useful in this dungeon, but that's because they designed this dungeon around using the boomerang. Alright, so since it's a blue switch, we have to set Ruto right here. Alright, and now we have this bigger uvula type thing. What you want to do is throw the boomerang at it. It will swing at you, unfortunately, but it is a necessary thing to do. What you have to do is kind of go to the center of the room to lure it out. Then when it comes down, hit it with your boomerang before it smacks you. And it takes 4 or 5 hits, and then you can get another item. We get the map, so that's going to be useful. We can finally find our way around this dungeon. But unfortunately, the compass is more useful than the maps, in my opinion. Anyway, she gets mad. How inconsiderate. How could you leave me behind? If you're a man, then act like one. Take responsibility. Women, women, women. Anyway, the red slimy thing is gone. That must be because you cut the red tail. Will that work with the other ones too? So basically, Navi gave you a hint that you have to defeat all of the uvula type things in order for to progress through the dungeon. Now, the bubbles cannot be destroyed with your slingshot for some reason, but they can be destroyed with your boomerang. So you're going to want to lock on and attack with your boomerang, which I keep failing at. Well, I got one accidentally. That was nice. But yeah, the boomerang is kind of slow in this game compared to Wind Waker. I definitely prefer the Wind Waker boomerang over this one, but it definitely works for what we need to do. Oh my gosh, Link's on the treasure chest. Oh, that reminds me of Wind Waker when when Link spawned on top of the treasure chest. It was so hilarious. But now we have the compass and all is well. I'm going to grab these. And now it is time to continue. Alright, so we got rid of these 2 rooms. And is this one available yet? No, it is not. Where am I going? This is where I'm going. Alright, so this is the last of the red tails that we have to cut, if I'm not mistaken. We have to cut the green one for the giant green uvula blocking our exit. Alright, so that's 3, if I'm not mistaken. 4. This doesn't yield any treasure, unfortunately, but what it does do is give you access to the central room in this dungeon. Now, these electric eel type things, I don't know why I call them... Well, I call them electric because when they attack you, it does an electrification type thing. But they don't look like eels, so I don't know why I call them that. Where's Ruto? Okay, so the reason why I say the compass is more important in this dungeon is because it shows you where... Or I thought it showed you where Ruto was. But I guess not. Is she in this room? No. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, she goes back to the room that you met her in if you leave her behind and not on a switch. But I don't believe we need to get her anyway, so I'm just going to ignore that. Yeah. Alright, so this is the main room. You got the jellyfish things, which can be destroyed by your boomerang. And then you got the green uvula that's trying to kill me right here. I always like to get rid of the jellyfish first because the uvula things pretty easy to avoid. It's just kind of gross looking. Come on, uvula. Don't you want to die? Alright, there we go. Alright, so that cleared the path that we need to go to in order to progress in the basement floor. So at this point we're about halfway through the dungeon, which is pretty good, considering for how little I've been playing, actually. Yeah, there's Ruta right there. To avoid this, and talk to her again and pick her back up. But now we want to go where... Okay, come on. Go away. I want to get that one just so it doesn't come back and haunt me. Alright. So now we want to go in the hole where the green uvula was, or the green tendon, or whatever you want to call it, which was right here. We're going to want to drop her right here for now to get these 2 gold sculptulas. 2 gold sculptulas right in a row. Pretty nice if you ask me. You can get one of these earlier after you have the boomerang, but you cannot get both of them, if I'm not mistaken, until you drop down this hole. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so we got both of the gold sculptula tokens, and I believe there's only one more gold sculptula in the dungeon, which is pretty nice. Alright, so now we want to enter this room, and she sees her stone. That's it! That's what I've been looking for! Throw me up there, onto the platform! Princess Ruta got the spiritual stone. But why Princess Ruta? Oh my goodness, I finally found my mother's stone. I got very upset when Lord Jabu-Jabu swallowed it. While I was feeding him, he suddenly swallowed me. I was so surprised I dropped it inside. But now that I found it, I don't need to be in here anymore. So, take me home, right now. Alright, well... Ruto? Yeah! What is this, an octopus? And we get a giant Octorok. I believe his name is Big Octo or something like that. Anyway, you want to run opposite the way that the spinning platforms is moving, and you want to avoid the spinning platform at all costs if possible. What you're trying to do is get behind him and stun him with the boomerang. So you're going to want to stay inside as much as you can. Hit his big butt. You can see right there. Got him. Alright, so... Alright, and when you do that, he will reverse the direction he runs. So, it's pretty simple. It can be tricky if you keep getting hit by the platform or something. But sometimes he reverses directions if you get too close, so... he can be difficult at times, but overall he's a fairly easy mini-boss. Trying to lock onto him, but I keep getting hit by the spiked platform. Come here. I want to hit your butt. Come here. Alright, so he is a fairly simple boss. Yeah, there's just not much to say. He's a simple boss. It's pretty fun, too. I remember when I was practicing this game that he kept reversing. See, when the platform turns around, that's when you want to reverse your direction very quickly. Hurry up, Link! See, that's pretty annoying. But it also gives you an opportunity to catch up to him easier. Alright, so now I can hit him. I believe I have to hit him one more time. Oh, no, that's it. They don't give him a cutscene like they do with other mini-bosses, so I couldn't tell if I defeated them or not. Anyway, so that was easy. So now we want to raise up. So, yeah. Let's see. Alright, so we got a fairy to refill our health. Oh yeah, I forgot I could have filled up another bottle. Whatever. You only need one, really, for most of the game. And I'm sorry if I've been talking quiet, guys, in the last video. It's just that, not the last video, but the past few videos. It's just that, you know, since I'm by myself and stuff, it's hard for me to talk louder. But yeah, so excuse if I talk quiet. I have to edit the volume up and stuff, so if I say some things that are too quiet, I apologize. So you'll have to forgive me for that. Alright, so nothing up there. What is in here anyway? Yep, this is that, yeah, this is the room with the crates. So now that we've lowered that platform, we can walk around and set the crate right here. Now, this room has a gold skulltula, and it is the last room before the boss room. And I don't have the boss key. That's what I was thinking, you know, what about that room with the spongy platform that I forgot to go and get? Alright, so once you enter this room, there is a gold skulltula here. I believe it is on the opposite side of this. I believe this has the boss key in it. I'm gonna kill this jellyfish so it doesn't get in the way. And grab this skulltula. Now you can also kill the gold skulltulas with the boomerang, but since the boomerang doesn't have a lock-on feature, like it does in Wind Waker, you can't really get to it easily. Well, you can get to... What am I talking about? I'm just crazy right now. Anyway, another uvula switch. But there is a glass thing right there. So, what you want to do, if you saw there, is an opening on the side. So what you have to do is aim your boomerang, and it'll go around the glass, or whatever that happens to be. I don't know if I really want to know. And it will open up that area. So I'm going to grab this heart real quick. This side, there we go. And now it's time for the boss. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. In the next episode, we'll get rid of the boss and continue on in our story. This is TheBladeGamer. See you next time.